In this video we are going to learn how to give opinions about school subjects. In order to do this we will need to learn the rather unusual Spanish verb me gusta, which is the verb we use to say I like something. We're also then going to learn a new question word, por qué, why, and the answer to that question, which is also por qué, because. So, me gusta, I like, por qué, why, and por qué, because. So we'll start with the verb me gusta. As you can see on the left hand side, me gusta el español is the Spanish for I like Spanish. But the verb gustar is what's called sometimes a back to front verb. What does that mean? Well, if you look closely at the sentence here, me gusta el español, I like Spanish, you might notice something strange. First of all, there's no word for I here, the word yo. Well, we often miss that out with Spanish verbs, as we've seen, so that's not too surprising. The word me, by the way, is the word for to me, not I. But what is particularly surprising is that the ending of the verb here, gusta, is not what we would expect for a first person singular verb, an I form verb. It doesn't end in an O. Me gusta is a third person ending, a he, she, it form ending. If we compare it with the regular AR verb hablar, hablo, hablas, habla, you can see that this is an it ending. That's because the Spanish is literally saying, as we shall see in just a moment, not I like Spanish, but Spanish, it is pleasing to me. The verb gustar means to be pleasing to, and it works, we sometimes say, back to front. Spanish is pleasing to me. So now we can see a little bit more precise explanation of this. If I want to say I like Spanish in Spanish, the only way I can do it is to use this verb me gusta. And the structure of the sentence is as follows. I start with the word which means to me. Then I follow it with the verb which, as we've said, is in the third person singular, the it form. It is pleasing to me. The next thing must be the word the, masculine in this case because languages are all masculine, el español. But if it was history, it would be me gusta la historia. And then the noun, the thing that I like. So, I like Spanish is me gusta el español. Literally, the Spanish. It is pleasing to me. This seems very strange to us literally, but it's the completely natural way to a Spaniard of saying I like Spanish. So there is no other way of saying this than me gusta el español. If we want to put this into the plural and say that the thing that we like is plural, los idiomas, languages, rather than el español, Spanish, we need to change the structure of the sentence accordingly. What we are saying is still literally the languages, they are pleasing to me. So the word me remains unchanged. Languages, of course, being plural, needs to have its S on the end of idioma, and the plural word for the, los, in this case because idioma is masculine. But the key point is what's happened to the verb. The ending gusta has changed to gustan. That's a they form ending, third person plural. Because what Spanish is literally saying is that the languages, they are pleasing to me. hence we get me gustan los idiomas. Again, that is a literal translation of this sentence. The languages, they are pleasing to me. But it's completely the natural way of saying in Spanish, I like languages. Now we come to look at how to ask the question whether somebody else likes something. Well, as we can see, that is ¿te gusta el español? If we think carefully about that, what we're saying here is the Spanish, is it pleasing to you? So the verb ending, as we'll see in a moment, doesn't change, only the person to you, which has changed from to me. We're also going to look at how to reply with sí, me gusta, or no, no me gusta. To say yes, I do like, or no, I don't like. So the Spanish for do you like Spanish, as we've seen, is the Spanish, is it pleasing to you? ¿Te gusta el español? And the two possible replies to this simple question are sí, yes, or no, no. The first of those would be followed by the positive statement, I like Spanish. Sí, me gusta el español. The second one is followed by the negative statement, I don't like Spanish. No me gusta el español. This means that we get the word no twice in this sentence. Firstly, to translate the word no, and secondly, to make the verb me gusta negative, I don't like. Now we're going to learn how to ask a more complicated question than simply just ¿te gusta el español? We're going to ask not just do you like Spanish, but why do you like Spanish? And for that we're going to use the question word ¿por qué? Why? As we'll see when we look at the structure in a bit more detail, the word we're going to use in the answer is also ¿por qué? Because that's the Spanish word for because. As we can see though, there are a couple of differences between the two words, even if they sound the same. So the question word why, ¿por qué, is two separate words with a space between them. Of course, as all question words do, it has its upside down question mark at the beginning and a question mark at the end. And as all question words also do, it has an accent to show it's a question word. Whereas the word because is all one word, has no punctuation obviously, and no accent. So to the question then, why do you like Spanish? Here it is at the top. We've seen the straightforward question, do you like Spanish? We just put the question word why before that to get ¿por qué te gusta el español? Why do you like Spanish? Literally, of course, why the Spanish, is it pleasing to you? And the answer, well, we've got me gusta el español, as we might expect. I like Spanish. The Spanish, it is pleasing to me. And then the reason why. Porque es interesante, which requires us to use the word for because, the third person singular of the verb to be, it is, and an adjective, interesante. We remember that adjectives ending in E have the same form in the masculine and feminine singular. So with el español we'll get interesante. We'd also get interesante with la historia, or la religión, or la geografía. Me gusta la historia porque es interesante. When we want to talk about a plural subject, we have to make some changes again to the sentence. In the question, we've still got the question word, why, and as I hope we are becoming more familiar with now, the same question format, gustan, porque te gustan los idiomas, why are the languages, why are they pleasing, hence the third person plural ending, gustan, to you. And in the answer, the languages, they are pleasing to me, me gustan los idiomas, so I like languages. ¿Por qué? Well, of course, that hasn't changed, the word for because. But because they are interesting, es must change to son. And because adjectives, as we know, must agree with nouns in Spanish, what we are describing as being interesting is languages, and therefore we need to add an S on the end of interesantes. Me gustan los idiomas porque son interesantes. Now we're going to look at slight variations on this to show us how we can express more stronger ideas of loving, liking very much, or not liking at all, using another back to front verb like gustar, like me gusta, me encanta, and by adding mucho and nada to me gusta and no me gusta. So to start off with, me encanta. This is a verb that works in exactly the same way as me gusta. So we can see here, when I want to say I love Spanish, I'm saying me encanta el español, because the verb encantar literally means to be delightful to. So we've got the Spanish, it is delightful to me. Me encanta el español. Again, I keep stressing, although this sounds very strange to us, it's the natural way of saying in Spanish that you love something. Me encanta el español. I love Spanish. Just as when we wanted to say we liked something that was plural, we moved from me gusta el español to me gustan los idiomas. We do the same thing with the verb encanta. So to say I love languages, I've moved from the encanta of me encanta el español to me encantan los idiomas. Literally again, the languages, they, hence the unending, they are delightful to me. This is, of course, the natural way of saying in Spanish, I love languages. Me encantan los idiomas. And finally today, two ways of refining slightly our statement. We can use the word mucho in front of me gusta to make a positive statement even more positive and say, I like Spanish a lot. Me gusta mucho el español. I can also use the word nada, which is literally nothing, but here means not at all. I use that after the negative statement, no me gusta, to change it from the simple statement, I don't like Spanish, no me gusta el español, to I don't like Spanish at all, no me gusta nada el español. The rules for making this plural are completely unaffected by adding the mucho and the nada. So if I want to say, for example, I like languages a lot, I still need to change the gusta to gustan, and we get me gustan mucho los idiomas. Or I don't like languages at all, no me gustan nada los idiomas.